Okay, so we have Ms Navritu Rai with us. Ms Navritu, are you able to hear me? Hello. I think your mic is muted. Can you just turn on the mic? Yes. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, I can. Hi, Tarang.
Hello, Navritu. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. And a lot of people are already waiting for you to start off with the presentation. If you could just introduce yourself to each one of us over here, present over here.
Okay. Um, Hi, everyone. Welcome and warm greetings from Ras Al Khaimah. It's a beautiful day today. Unfortunately, we're not allowed to get out, but it's really lovely weather here as well. I'm so happy that I have had this opportunity to connect with all of you. Thanks to Chirag, Raman, and Tarang for arranging this concept. I think it's a super initiative to actually bring the entire travel fraternity together at times like this, where we can stay connected, through technology channels. I think it's a great idea to actually hone your learning skills. And of course, many destinations like us as well are really, really grateful for opportunities like this. So just a little bit about Ras Al Khaimah, and I will run you through the presentation. But we are a very small boutique emirate in the UAE. It's the fourth largest emirate in the United Arab Emirates. And over the last 7 to 8 years, we've been making very large concerted efforts to actually showcase the destination and especially to the India market. It's beautiful. It's very naturally landscaped, and I will be showing you a couple of videos, including the destination video to begin with. And you'll see how different it is from some of the other destinations, including the other Emirates. So we have 7 Emirates in the UAE, and we are the fourth largest. So after Abu Dhabi, which is the big daddy, followed by Dubai, the financial capital, you have Sharjah, which is the historical and cultural capital, and then we have Ras Al Khaimah, which is actually the adventure emirate of the UAE. So basically, we focus a lot on adventure and also culture. And you'll see how different it is in terms of what we have to offer, destination offerings, as you see the slides.
Sure. Thank you. So we posted this question today in the polls, and almost 85% of the people present over here at Zoom have answered correctly that how many Emirates are there in UAE. It was before you told everyone, right? So still roughly 9 or 10 people are not aware that there are 7 Emirates in the UAE. So we have a couple of more questions coming up for all the audiences. So stick your eye to your computer screens, and we'll be showing an interesting presentation by Ms Navritu Rai, and obviously some of the general questions about UAE and Ras Al Khaimah.
Great. I'm looking forward to this. I think it's a great platform, like I said again, and I think it's a fantastic opportunity for all of you as well to learn about newer products, destinations. We have a lot of time on our hands. A lot of us do have time on our hands, and this is the right time to actually learn and hone our skills so that we are able eventually, when we are out of this big tragedy called COVID-19, we can all get back to work and and explore so much more.
Definitely. So I think we can start off with the presentation because a lot of us are already here. If you can just start sharing the screen so that everyone can see the amazing presentation. I got the chance to actually look at it beforehand. I'm looking forward to it.
Just a second. So is the screen visible to everybody?
No, not now. Not now.
Not now?
No, no. If you could just share screen once more. Yes, now it's visible.
Sorry, just a few glitches, but I think I should be fine. So like I mentioned, let me start by showing you our destination video. It's a really nice video, very, very different. I must say that we've been awarded quite a few marketing awards for this destination video, including the Telly Awards. Out of almost about 30,000 entries, we won a bronze globally. So it's a great achievement for us. And also to let you know, we were declared in 2019 as the Gulf Tourism Capital for 2020. So we are very, very proud of what we have been doing in the Emirate. And I'd like to now show you the destination video. Watch it and enjoy it. It's very, very different, like I said, unique and full of natural landscapes. So that's the beautiful Cove Ratana. It's a beautiful Mediterranean concept property. The pyramid are the brand. So that's a little showcase about the destination. And as you can see, it's very, very naturally landscaped. And most of our attractions and activities are, based around and centered around the natural landscapes that we have. So here it is, the destination map of the UAE. And like I mentioned, we are the 7 Emirates. You have Abu Dhabi right down south, followed by Dubai, Sharjah, Fujairah's on the right, Ajman, Al Quwain, and as you can see, Ras Al Khaimah is right on top. The name Ras Al Khaimah, so it's actually the northernmost emirate in the UAE, and the name Ras Al Khaimah comes from the word, the Arabic meaning of Ras Al Khaimah is top of the tent. And you can understand why, because we are right on top. We're the northernmost emirate. One side of Ras Al Khaimah, we actually border with Oman. You can see on the right is Oman. And therefore, we actually share the Hajar Mountains with Oman. So a lot of you, I'm sure, have been to Oman. So we are very, very similarly landscaped in terms of, the topography that we have, the geographical surroundings that we have is very, very similar to Oman. So we're quite similar in terms of the kind of destination products that we have to Oman, and therefore very, very different to a Dubai or Abu Dhabi or Sharjah or any of the other Emirates. Whilst the other Emirates are more focused on a lot of landscapes which are artificial and a lot of attractions which are artificial and man-made. We focus on natural landscapes, and therefore a lot of our activities are very adventure based. Like I mentioned, we are an adventure capital of the UAE. So therefore we actually complement and complete Abu Dhabi and Dubai and the other Emirates. We are not competing with any of them. So our product is very, very different. Yes, the Emirate, which is the home to the world's longest zip line, is us. It is Ras Al Khaimah. We're very proud of the fact, and I will take you through those slides as well. So please be a little patient. We're very proud of what we have to showcase as far as our mountain activities are concerned. Yes, the Jebel Jais flight is in Ras Al Khaimah. So sorry about that. I'm not being able to switch to the next slide. Just give me a second. Yeah. So in terms of air accessibility, where are we? So we are 45 minutes from Dubai Airport. It is the world's busiest airport. And from India, whether it is from the eastern part of India, which is Kolkata, where you have flights like Etihad and Emirates, which are flying in, could take you about 4.5 hours to get to Dubai Airport. And then from Dubai Airport, it's just about a 45 to 50-minute drive to Ras Al Khaimah. Of course, we also have flights landing into Sharjah Airport, and from Sharjah, we are only about 35 minutes away by road again. And the roads are actually beautiful, so it's a really, really nice drive as you come to Ras Al Khaimah. I must add here that we do have our own international airport, which is the RAC International Airport, which many years ago actually used to fly in Air India to Ras Al Khaimah. So there used to be, an Air India flight which used to come to Ras Al Khaimah, and this was, I'm talking about a couple of decades ago. However, at the moment, the only Indian carrier that is coming to the destination is the Air India Express. And this flight is coming basically from Calicut into RAC Airport 4 times a week. We do have other flights coming from other destinations, including charters. However, Just to let you know that we have been in talks with SpiceJet, and we are hoping to start flights from Delhi to begin with into RAC Airport very soon. So we're just waiting for some government approvals, and hopefully we should be able to bring in flights from India, more flights starting with Delhi, going on to Mumbai, and then the other destinations, other airport hubs as well. And these would possibly also go onward. These flights would also possibly go onwards to, maybe even London and Germany, for that matter, maybe even Berlin. So that these are just, it's in the pipeline, and this should happen soon. Let's hope that the flight corridors open really soon and we have some luck with that. So like I mentioned, we have 5 natural assets: the mountains, the Hajar Mountains, which has the tallest peak in the UAE. We have coastline, 64 kilometers of coastline. Of course, we have the desert because we are basically in the sandpit. We have the hot springs and mangroves. And like I mentioned earlier, all our activities revolve around these 5 assets that we have. Climate. As you know, and I've mentioned that we are the northernmost emirate, so we're definitely cooler as compared to our other fellow emirates, and definitely the best time to visit is between October to May. Having said that, let me tell you that because we also have 64 kilometers of coastline and we're close to the sea, so we have a really nice breeze that is constantly blowing, so we are definitely cooler, even down in the city area and in the plains of Ras Al Khaimah. But as you climb up to the mountains, it is 10 degrees cooler. So if it is 30 or 35 degrees currently in RAC, it would be about 20 to 25 degrees in the mountains on the Jebel Jais. And I must tell you an interesting anecdote here that in 2017 and again this year in 2020, in the month of January, it actually snowed in the mountains. We had snow in Ras Al Khaimah. The temperatures were below below 0 degrees. We were in minus 1 and 2 degrees. So, in fact, in winters, starting from about October all the way till January, February, it can be quite cold. The temperatures go down to even 2 and 3 degrees. So you definitely need to wear a warm, you need to be clad warm during this time. So it's quite startling and surprising that you would, have something like in the UAE. Yes, we have mountains, we've had snow, and you really need to keep yourself covered up there. So most of our tourists come around October to May. That is actually the best time. But having said that, we do have higher occupancies even in summer. And I will show you a slide in a bit on the numbers that are coming to the destination. So these are basically our top international source markets. So just to tell you, to go back to financial year 2018, the top market was Germany, followed by Russia, United Kingdom, and India has been our 4th largest market for the last few years. However, in 2019, you can see that from the 4th largest market, it has moved to number 2. Inching very closely behind is Germany and the UK. So yes, there's a lot of movement coming from India, and you will be, you will be actually surprised to know that we've really picked up on the Indian market, especially for mice. We've done a lot of weddings. In fact, we closed 10 weddings for the wedding season of 2019, winter season, all the way up to March 2020. We've had some great conferences, and we're really picking up on this segment. So for all of you who are in this segment, we're definitely a destination to look out for in terms of MICE. We did record tourist arrivals of 1.11 million for the destination, and therefore I said we're a very small emirate. So we really work very hard to bring the tourists in, and we are pretty sold out during our best months of the year. Just to let you know that July and August were also our top months for the destination, including people coming from India. So please, despite the fact that people say that the UAE is very hot during summer, we've still had fantastic growth from the Indian market during the summer months as well. So what do we have in terms of accommodation? You must have seen this particular image even in the video. This is actually the iconic Waldorf Astoria. It's a 5-star luxury property in the UAE, and it's in Ras Al Khaimah, and it's actually the first Waldorf that was built in the entire United Arab Emirates. One side of the Waldorf, all rooms are facing the sea, as you can see, and the other side, all rooms face the golf course. So it's a beautiful property, 343 rooms. A lot of Indian weddings take place here. It was actually built initially, next to it is the Alhambra Residences, which was built to be a palace, but was later on converted to a hotel. So a really nice, beautiful property to visit. What are some of the other hotels that we have? So unlike the other Emirates, because we have so much of coastline, we have 64 kilometers of coastline. So we have some fantastic beach properties, which you may have seen again in the video. We have some very competitively priced 5-star beachfront hotels. They're almost at 4-star pricing. So if you actually see if you compare a similar property in Dubai, would be much more competitively priced in Ras Al Khaimah. So what we have at the moment is about 6,700 rooms only in the destination. So like, again, I said, we're a very small boutique emirate. And we have many more that are in the pipeline to come up. We have about 13 hotel brands which have been announced. And by 2025, we plan to have about 20,000 additional rooms. So we will have a lot more capacity. Just to also add here, going back to the slide on the visitor arrivals, our target for 2021 is to aim at 1.9 million tourists, and by 2025 is 3 million tourists. And therefore we are gunning for, building these rooms so that we can accommodate these many people into the destination. However, having said that, now with, of course, the situation as it is, things are a little bit slowed down, but we still plan to, try and target as many hotels as we can, in the next few years. So what sets us apart from some of the other destinations is we have a product like the Long Beach Campground. Now this particular campground is basically in the Bin Majid Beach Hotel, which is a 4-star brand in the UAE. And as you can see, there are tents. You have a deluxe tent, which is pyramidal in shape. Then you have the safari tents right on the extreme left. And then you have the dome tents. These are pitched on the beach of a hotel. Now, we started this concept in 2018 in the Bin Majid Beach Hotel. There are about 94 of these tents, and you can see the expanse of the water and the beach. This particular campground has, and it was only functional in the winter months, so from November all the way up to April, and it was only during weekends. Also more because, we wanted to encourage people from within the UAE as well to come and experience something different. So it's more like a glamping experience. It's a great experience because you have something like a cinema on the waterfront. We have a pontoon where you can have you watch movies with popcorn. There's bonfire on the beach. There's a little mini zoo. There's pottery making classes, beach volleyball, water sport activities, all of these things, and barbecue dinners, in the evening. So a great concept for something very different. So this is why I say that we are quite unique, because you will not find this, in the other places. And therefore, it sets us apart from the other destinations. Just to tell you a little bit about the Al Marjan Island, I did mention 64 kilometers of coastline, but and therefore we have all our resort properties are, natural beaches. This particular island is the only island which is man-made, and therefore there is now there's a lot of construction and a lot of hotels that are scheduled to come up in this particular island called the Marjan Island. It's an archipelago and with an area of 2.7 square meters. So it's really big. It's divided into 4 islands. And at the moment, we have properties like the Marjan Island Accor, which is, it's a resort property. It's almost 300 rooms. We have the Rixos Bubble Bahar, which is a Turkish brand, with 650 rooms. It's an ultra-inclusive concept hotel with almost about 12 to 13 F&B outlets, including bars, a nightclub, a banquet facility. What do I mean by ultra-inclusive concept? Once you book, you can leave your wallet behind because everything is taken care of. 24/7 F&B, including entertainment, etc. I would also like to add here that we have another property called the Doubletree by Hilton Marjan Resort and Spa. Now, by far, the Doubletree properties are a 4-star brand. However, this particular Doubletree resort property is a 5-star beach resort, one of the very few in the world. I think, the top 3 in the world properties. It's a resort property, 723 rooms, again with fabulous dining outlets, many dining outlets, beautiful beaches, and great banqueting facilities, again F&B outlets, etc. So just again, and all kinds of meal plans, so to speak. So it's a great again property for weddings. Done quite a few weddings in the recent past, and I'm happy to take up any questions if there are any questions at the moment.
Yes, there are actually a couple of questions people are asking from, the part of the presentation already went behind. So a lot of people are asking about, the Indian food availability. I hope that is not a problem in Ras Al Khaimah, I guess.
Not at all. In fact, most of our hotels, in fact, all our hotels have Indian staff and Indian chefs. So we are very attuned to Indian food, not only just in the hotels, but also in Ras Al Khaimah. We have a lot of Indian food outlets. There are Indian restaurants. There are pure vegetarian restaurants as well. You can get Jain food as well. If you are looking for specific vegan food and Jain food, you can, if your clients check into a hotel, I mean, they just need to inform beforehand, or maybe even when they check in, that they have special dietary requirements, and this can be taken care of.
Okay. And what about the visa requirements? Are there any other permits required, or just the tourist visa would work? And
Um,
like, is it somewhere related to the Dubai visa, I guess, or not? Because a lot of people are asking about that as well.
Yes, so there is, as part of being the United Arab Emirates, there are certain laws, the federal laws are the same. So the visa laws, the currency, etc., is all the same. So if you have, if you have a UAE visa, you can enter any of the Emirates without a problem. You just need to, of course, apply for a visa. But for Indian nationals who have a valid multiple entry US or UK visa, can enter the UAE without a visa, a UAE visa. You just need to pay 120 dirhams when you land at any of the airports, and you can come into the destination. So it's the same visa for all the Emirates.
Okay. Okay. So you were telling that in the past data suggests that Ras Al Khaimah is a very popular destination for MICE groups. Like, is it the same case for family vacations as well, right? So like, is it a popular destination for family vacations as well or not? People are asking about that as
Absolutely. Actually, our core is to attract families because we have beautiful beach resorts. We have the all-inclusive concept. It's a great destination for families. So just to also tell you, when you come into any of our resort properties, we have some fantastic kids club facilities, including babysitting facilities in all our properties. Even some of our three-star brands like the City Stay beach hotel apartments, they are apartment style concept hotels. They're also on the beach. They also have, some of them also have swimming pools on the rooftop. There are things for children to do. So we are basically a family friendly destination coupled with adventure. And now, in the last few years, is where we've really taken up on mice. So, mice has become a big segment for us now in the recent past. But so far, it's really been a family friendly destination. We are a very, very, for all our markets, in fact, when we have, people coming from Germany or Russia, the average length of stay of a Russian is about 8 to 10 nights, and they come with their families. We have a whole lot of hotels which are apartment style hotels, like I mentioned, on the beach. People come, even the locals. When I talk about local, I mean not just the local Emiratis, but even people that are residents of the UAE come with their whole families and stay in the destination. We have kitchens, we have maid rooms within the resorts, within the hotels. So it's definitely a family friendly destination. And I must add here, we are actually the most liberal of all Emirates. And what do I mean by liberal is
well. The liquor
that
policy?
uh, even things like, and because our target segment of the visitors coming in are mostly Europeans, we have less restrictions on attire, on what to wear. Of course, I mean, there are certain norms that one caters to, but it's not that you need to be fully clad on the beach. You can wear a swimsuit. We're also very liberal when it comes to alcohol. We are actually the most liberal emirate. Alcohol is easily available. You can buy alcohol. We do have a few dry hotels which do not serve alcohol, although majority of our hotels do have the provision for serving alcohol as well. But the ones that don't, you are allowed to bring, you are allowed to buy. We have several, wine cellars and alcohol shops throughout the destination. You don't need permits or licenses to pick up. You just need to be 21 years of age to present and buy your alcohol, and you can consume it within, your room as well. So again, And also, again, a very big USP for us is that during Ramadan, it's business as usual. That means the hotels are allowed to serve liquor. You can go buy liquor. In fact, even now, even during lockdown, our liquor shops are open. People are still going during non-lockdown timings and picking up alcohol. So we're really a very, very liberal emirate as well.
Okay. So a lot of questions over here at Zoom as well as on the YouTube. People are asking about what is the approximate rate for the Waldorf hotel that you talked about in the beginning of the presentation. What's the average approximate cost for that, as well as what is the average number of nights which you will recommend for leisure travels?
So in terms of an approximate rate, it's very dynamic. Let's put it this way. Because we have only 6,700 room keys, we tend to get filled up very quickly, especially during the months from October to May. So therefore, but there are some, certain times during December and January, which are window periods as well, where the occupancies go down a little bit, so you can get definitely better pricing. Also, we have a lot of, I did mention that we have a lot of people from within the UAE that come to Ras Al Khaimah as staycationers. And these guys come during weekends because, that's the time that they have holidays. So the pricing differs from weekdays to weekends, from times, and at times like this, anything, it could be a City Max could charge maybe 120 dirhams or 130 dirhams maybe, or a Waldorf could possibly, I'm not certain now what they would be, but it could be as low as maybe even 300 dirhams or maybe 250 dirhams. So I'm not sure as to what it is. Of course, during now trying times like this, all hotels are vying a slice of pie of business. So I'm sure that prices will be very, very competitive. However, I must add here that because our product is, our hotels are more beach, they're more resort friendly, they're more child friendly, so to speak. We don't lower our rates because we prefer to have an average daily rate, and we prefer to maintain that because otherwise, we're not benefiting in terms of the tourism dirham that we're getting. I must add here a thing that whilst the tourism dirham that you people pay when you come to the destination, and that's mandatory for all the Emirates, for us as Ras Al Khaimah Tourism Development Authority, our budgets actually come out of the tourism dirham. So we are a very self-reliant, autonomous body when it comes to, even though we are part of the government of UAE, so all our spend actually comes from the tourism dirham. So we do not, although we are very competitively priced. So if you take a Waldorf Astoria Dubai versus a Waldorf Astoria Ras Al Khaimah, the product that you will have is as good, if not better. And definitely it's more competitively priced here. Also because Ras Al Khaimah is definitely cheaper and it's more affordable. I would not like to use the word cheaper, but it's more affordable as compared to Dubai. So for the
Okay.
similar product, you will get better value for money in Ras Al Khaimah.
Okay. Okay. So one last question that that we'll be taking like before moving forward with the presentation. One of our viewers over here were asking that can Ras Al Khaimah be clubbed with Oman if someone wants to travel by road?
Absolutely. You can club it with Oman. However, for us, for me, because I do handle India as one of my top source markets, I would definitely say that you should combine Ras Al Khaimah with Dubai and or Abu Dhabi. I've been constantly and over a period of time, whenever I've been conducting workshops and webinars and roadshows in India, I've constantly been reiterating the fact that each of us Emirates is very, very unique. We have different USPs. So while Abu Dhabi has the Louvre and the Grand Mosque and the Ferrari World and Yas Island, Dubai has Dubai Mall, it has the Burj Khalifa, it has the La Pearl Show. Sharjah is known for its museums and other cultural sites. Ras Al Khaimah is known for adventure. So you can actually combine an 8 to 10 night package of the UAE, which I think will happen very soon because looking at things right now with COVID-19, of course, the first focus will be on domestic tourism for you guys, for India market. But as soon as outbound opens, I think the closest destinations would be, the UAE or maybe Sri Lanka or these kind of, maybe South Africa possibly, because the numbers are not that high right now for COVID there. So you can actually combine an 8 to 10 night stay of a United Arab Emirates itinerary where you actually present to your clients the various different products of the UAE. And I think this is something that will come up, and it's definitely something to watch out for, to keep an eye on, and to focus on, because uh, of course, people will not be traveling maybe to the West, to Europe and the US as quickly as they would be to destinations like the Middle East and the UAE. So definitely you can combine it with Oman. You can also combine and give a full package, a holistic package of the UAE to your clients.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No, as of now, we can move forward with the presentation. People are actually, a lot of people are asking about the adventure activities, and I personally know that the details for that is ahead in the presentation, right?
Yes.
So each one of us who is actually viewing the presentation, the information about the adventure activities is ahead in the presentation, and we are moving forward to that one. Thank you.
So just one, a couple of last slides on accommodation. This is Hyatt Island, which is between the Marjan Island, which I mentioned, which is one end of Ras Al Khaimah, and the other end, of course, is the Jebel Jais Mountains. So the distance between Marjan Island and the mountains, so if you were staying at Marjan Island at, say, maybe the Rixos or the Doubletree, it takes about 1 hour 10 minutes by road to drive up to the top of the mountain. So that's how quickly you can actually travel within Ras Al Khaimah. Hyatt Island is another part of the city. It's between the city and Marjan Island. So you can see a lot of construction and a lot of buildings over there. We are going to have an Anantara, which will open up. It was scheduled to open up in 2021. However, will now get pushed over. And we also have an Intercontinental that's going to open up. So again, some great properties, including luxury properties to come up in this particular island. We already have the Jana group of hotels and resorts here. It's a apartment style and villa style property over here in the destination. And again, a lot of recreational facilities will also come up in the Hyatt Island. People are already living here as well. So just to give you an idea about some of the upcoming hotels, we have a Hampton by Hilton that should be that is scheduled to open this year, but again, it might get pushed over to beginning of next year. We have the Intercon, like I mentioned, the Address, a Conrad, which is again a luxury property of the Hiltons. We have a Marriott, which is opening up in the city. So a whole lot of properties that are scheduled to come up between the city, the Hyatt Island, and the Marjan Island. Just also to tell you, in the video, you did see the Ritz-Carlton Al-Wadi property, which is a desert property. It's a 101 villa property, 500 hectares of land. Again, a beautiful luxury brand. So we have two Ritz-Carlton properties, one which is in the desert, like I mentioned, and the other is the Ritz-Carlton Beach, Alhambra Beach Resort, which is 32 chalets, and it's very Maldivian in style. So it's a beautiful property. The Ritz-Carlton earlier used to be the erstwhile banyan tree, which has now been taken over by the Ritz-Carlton property and is, under their brand name now. So coming to some of the cultural aspects, we have the very famous Daya Fort, which is a military fort from, it was initially built to ward off the British because the British went everywhere and invaded every part of the world. However, it's really ironical that today it's our third or fourth largest market. So, they're all over the place. So this Daya Fort, actually, it takes about 242 steps to get to the top. And it's a beautiful scenery once you get on top, a great fort, to just spend some time, just some me time. The Mohammed bin Salim Mosque. Now, there's something very unusual about this mosque. It's it's actually the largest surviving mosque in the UAE. And the beauty of this mosque is that it does not have minarets. If you can see that there are no minarets. So the story is like this, that in the olden days, the fishermen used to go fishing. And when they came back, and of course, as you know, that in the Muslim countries, you pray, in Islam, you pray 5 times in a day. So the fishermen had no place to go and pray. So when they would come back on land, they built this mosque basically to pray. And in those days, they did not have, because they were poor, they were just fishermen. They did not have, the architectural abilities or creativity to build a mosque which had minarets as well. It's made out of coral and stone, and you need special permission to go inside. You cannot just walk into the mosque, this particular mosque. So it's something very, very unique. Okay, so I think I'm hung again.
Are there any problems?
Yes, I'm not being able to move actually to the next slide. Just a second, let me see.
Just use the arrow keys if that works.
It's not working.
You can restart the presentation, I guess.
Yeah, just allow me a minute to.
Not an issue. So in the meantime, Ms Navritu restarts the presentation. I would like to inform each one of you that we'll be sharing the entire presentation in the PDF format post this webinar. We already have your email and your contact details when you registered for the webinar. If you still haven't registered for the webinar, we'll be sharing a Google form at the end of the presentation. You can fill that form up to receive the presentation and contact details. Thank you so much. Are we done? Yes.
Yes.
Great.
So we've got the RAC National Museum as well, which was home to the ruler, His Highness, till 1968, and then was converted into the RAC National Museum. So you can find a lot of artifacts, etc., as well here. And then the Jazirat Al Hamra, which is the oldest Emirati coastal village. Again, fishing was one of the livelihoods of people in the olden days, and it's now, it is under restoration. It's been created, part of this site is being created as a heritage village, and some part of this heritage village is now used actually to, for events and occasions. So really very, very unique places that you can actually do an event or a conference or a gala dinner, etc. And the Suwaidi Pearl Farm. Now, this is actually the UAE's first cultured pearl farm in the UAE. We started, we reinvented the Pearl Farm a couple of years back. And as you can see, I would actually love to show you a video on this. However, due to lack of time, I can share these videos with you later. Through transfer, if anybody wants them, I can share it with Tarang, and he can forward them to all of you. It's a really nice video. So pearl farming was also actually one of the traditional occupations of the people in the UAE and in Ras Al Khaimah. And they, the pearl divers. So this particular pearl farm actually talks about the history of pearl diving and how it actually started in the UAE. And the whole excursion is also about getting on a boat, going through the mangroves, watching camels. If you're lucky, you will see camels sunbathing in the water, quite unusual sights. You will find flamingos, just grazing around in the water and flying around. And then you come to the pearl farm, to the deck of the pearl farm, and there's so much of history about pearl diving, the pearl divers, and they have actually, the oysters, where they do an oyster opening, and they talk about how the oysters were formed and how the pearls were actually formed from the oyster. So they give you an entire education on it. It's a 2-hour program. And if you're lucky, you get to pick out an oyster and they open it in front of you. And, you can, if you're lucky, you can actually take back a pearl home. They also have a few trinkets and a few things that you can buy from the pearl farm. So again, a great experience. And like I mentioned, our focus is more on the natural landscape. So this is what sets us apart from the other Emirates, because you will not find these kind of experiences in other destinations. So again, it's a great experience, a beautiful, half-day experience that you can do in the pearl farm. The Mystique Dhow cruise, this is something that's very famous all over in the UAE, and you can see the iconic Waldorf Astoria at the back. So this particular Dhow cruise does the rounds of starting from Al Hamra all the way up to the Marjan Island and comes back. So again, it's also a very nice place. You can dive into the water, maybe go snorkeling for a bit. The children can go around playing in the sea during, not high tide hours, etc. And one can also do small get-togethers on the Dhow. So again, a really nice, unique experience. Of course, because we have 64 kilometers of water sport activities, we have all the possible, motorized activities in the destination. So from a jet ski to flyboarding to banana boats to, you name it, it's all there in the UAE. And this is available from all the resort properties, from all the hotels that we have, including the Corniche, where you can go book these and enjoy these facilities. And kayaking in the mangroves. So I mentioned that one of our unique natural assets was the mangroves. It's a super experience. It is very, very relaxing to just kayak in the mangroves. You can do kayaking in the sea, but the mangroves is a different experience altogether. So again, a really, really nice, soothing experience. If you just want to get away from city life, you just want to be one with nature, these are the kind of activities that one does. So in terms of also other water activities, we have something, and aviation activities. We also have the Sea Wings luxury seaplane. I'm sure a lot of you have already heard about Sea Wings. It's basically a 9-seater luxury aircraft which takes off from 2 points in Dubai. One is the Jebel Ali, and the other is the Dubai Creek. And only 9 people can sit in it at a time. It, of course, as the name suggests itself, you take off You do an aerial tour of Dubai. You go around the Burj Khalifa and the Burj Al Arab, and then it flies you all the way up to Ras Al Khaimah, and it actually does a water landing to the DoubleTree by Hilton Marjan Island Resort and Spa, and also the Hilton Garden Inn. It also, so you can see the entire aerial view of Ras Al Khaimah. You can also, this particular sea wing seaplane also does a 20-minute ride of an aerial tour of Ras Al Khaimah. So it takes you just a little short of the mountains and brings you back. So again, a really nice experience for somebody who wants to, who wants to splurge a little. It's a great activity as well to do. So you can get on by plane, and you don't have to go back by sea wings, but you can take the road as well. So they arrange this for you. And the the Al Jazeera Aviation Club. So for those of you who want to try a little bit of flying skills, for those who have maybe a private pilot's license, etc., if you have a PPL or a CPL license, you can take one of these planes and fly. It's a microlight that you can take, and you can again fly out for about maybe 30 minutes or so. Or if you don't, if you're not a trained pilot or do not have a license, one of the flight instructors, pilots will take you for again a beautiful ride up into the skies and bring you back. So again, and these are quite affordable. So they're very interesting things to do and very, very different experiences. Of course, we have the desert. We are in the sandpit. So things like the desert safari, which you will find everywhere. The beauty of Ras Al Khaimah here and the desert of Ras Al Khaimah is, as you can see, the color of the sand is very different. It's the color of, it's a very rich terracotta color. It's orangish, reddish in color. I must add here, when you're driving from Abu Dhabi to Dubai, the color of the sand is a little pale yellow. And then from Dubai, as you drive up to Sharjah and then up to Ras Al Khaimah, the color of the sand actually changes to a reddish color. And we have some beautiful green oases, rolling beds of green, because we get a lot of rain up in Ras Al Khaimah. So there's a lot of greenery, and the content, there's a lot of mineral content, iron content in the sand. So therefore, our desert looks very rich. It's it's unlike a pale yellow. It's very, very red in color. So what can you do? Things like the desert safari. We have 3 desert camps. One is the Basata village, which is the largest. And just to let you know here that all 3 of our desert camps are just 15 minutes away from Ras Al Khaimah city. So they are within Ras Al Khaimah. You do not have to drive for about 40-45 minutes into another part of the UAE to visit a desert camp. These are in Ras Al Khaimah itself. So like I mentioned, the Basata Desert Village can take up to about close to 1,000 people. It's a great venue for, Indian weddings. We've had some fantastic Sangeet ceremonies with an Arabian Nights or a Moroccan theme that have happened here. We have the Bedouin Oasis, which is a more boutique, intimate camp, which can take up to about 200, 250 people. Recently, there was a Christian wedding that happened here. So, those are the kind of things that we can do in our camps as well. You see those tents at the back. These are basically air-conditioned tents. You can stay overnight. You can book these. So while we have a Ritz-Carlton Al Wadi, which is a luxury accommodation resort in Ras Al Khaimah, you can also have a little more rustic Bedouin kind of experience in the desert by booking one of these tents as well. Again, right from a desert safari to sandboarding, camel rides, shisha, henna, tanura, fire show, belly dancing, barbecue dinner, all of these things are available in the camp. And yes, you do get vegetarian food also in these desert camps. And the third one is the dunes. Now, this is again, it's again a glamping camp. We have 5 of these tree houses in the middle of the desert. So, like I mentioned, we have some very, very unique things to offer for somebody who just wants to get out of, a hotel room and doesn't want to be in a hotel room, or can have the option of also glamping in the desert like this. So again, some very, very unique concepts that we have. And again, all of these offer all the possible facilities that any other desert camp that you have possibly experienced or sold in the past, all of these have that. So this can actually take about 350 to 400 people in the camp itself. And the nature reserve Alwadi. So you'll find a lot of animals and plants. You'll find oryx and gazelles and roaming around freely. So you can be one with nature. The falcon show, the owl show. You can do things like archery, and also horse riding. So the RAC Equestrian Club, where you can actually go horse riding. So all of these things are available to book through various operators. So again, very different experiences. Any questions on any here at the moment, or would you like me to continue?
Yes, there are a couple of questions. People are asking about the average cost of desert safari here at Ras Al Khaimah.
So the average cost would be about, it could be about 160 to 200 dirhams with the safari and the barbecue dinner.
Okay, okay. And are there any water theme parks like Yas Water World in Ras Al Khaimah?
We did have one which was, which could house up to almost the Iceland Water Park is what it used to be called. It was the largest water park in the entire UAE. It could take up to 10,000 people in a day. However, it is no longer, we've shut it down because, we were not, it wasn't attracting so much of business or clients coming in. It was only more feasible to do it over the weekend. So we decided to close it down. So at the moment, we do not have any water park, theme parks in the destination.
Okay.
But we have enough of water sport activities.
Okay. Okay. And a lot of people over the YouTube channel are asking about what are some of the local transport availability in Ras Al Khaimah. If someone wants to self-drive and explore the city on their own, are there any options available?
Yes, so you can book a car. You can do self-driving as well. However, you need to have an international driving license because you cannot you cannot just pick up a car and drive with an Indian driver's license. The laws of the UAE are very, very strict, especially for Indians and people around the Indian subcontinent. It took me a year to get my driver's license whilst I was still driving in India. So they're very, very tough. Yes, but if you have a valid international license, you can drive. There are taxis available. We do have buses as well, which can take you. The shuttle buses do take you from the resorts to the malls, etc. as well. And also to Dubai. So, most of our hotel properties, the resort properties have shuttle services. And if you book them, you can even go to Dubai Mall. So there are facilities. We also have buses which go from Ras Al Khaimah to Dubai as well. So we do not have a metro. We have taxis as well that can take you to, take you around. However, we're coming up now with Uber and the Careem service as well, but this is something that is not yet started, but it's again in the pipeline and it should be functional very soon.
Okay.
And I will talk about some more transport facilities as we go through the rest of the presentation, because for the mountain, you need transportation. So I will talk about that. There is a slide on that as well.
Okay. Okay, so one last question from YouTube. Miss Nehal Mehta is asking about where is the Long Beach campground located? Like, how far is it from the main city center, or is it available in the city center, or what are the basically how can we reach the Long Beach campground?
So the Long Beach campground between in Ras Al Khaimah, from one end of Ras Al Khaimah, which is the Marjan Island, like I said, to maybe say the city takes about 35 minutes. And the Long Beach campground is actually in the Bin Majid Beach Hotel, which is in the middle of Marjan Island and the city. So you can be in the Long Beach campground within 10 to 15 minutes max by road.
Okay.
So it's very convenient to get to. So, the thing is, Ras Al Khaimah is not densely populated. We have a population of less than 400,000 people, which includes the Emiratis as well as the expat community that is staying. So as such, it is over 2,500 square meters of land that we have. So getting from one end to the other end really does not take more than 35 to 40 minutes maximum. And because we're not so densely populated, we do not have so much of concrete. We are not really, the two tallest buildings that we have would be about 30 stories. And that's in the city. So we are a very spread out emirate in terms, and therefore we do not have traffic jams. If you have, say, 15 or 20 cars standing at a traffic signal, it is considered a traffic snarl in Ras Al Khaimah. So it's very, very spread out. It's open, it's cleaner air, it's fresher air. So everything's very easily, for me, from my apartment to my office takes precisely 6 minutes to drive. And it's, 20 kilometers, but it takes 6 minutes to drive. So that's how fast you can reach from point A to point B. So it's very, very, easily accessible.
Okay, I think we can move forward now.
So we also have two golf courses. One is the Tower Links Golf Course, which is one of the most natural golf courses in the Emirates. And the other one is the Alhambra Golf Club. I did mention, and you can again see that's the iconic Waldorf Astoria. I had mentioned at the beginning of my presentation that one side faces the sea, all the the entire hotel, the rooms face the sea, and the other side faces the golf course. So this particular golf course is in Alhambra, and it was actually home to the European Challenge 16, 17, and the Grand Finale 18. On the left, you can see some blocks of buildings which look like villas. That's actually a 4-star category property called the Alhambra Village. Again, they're apartment style villas which can be booked. And, it's all part of the Hilton cluster property. So even again, the Waldorf Astoria is also a Hilton property, a luxury brand. So these are again, for somebody who does not want to afford the Waldorf Astoria, can stay in the Alhambra Village or the Hilton Resort, beach and golf resort Alhambra, which is right next to the Waldorf Astoria as well. So again, this particular area will give you an idea of some of the other properties as well that we have, which have the golf course close to it. They have some bars and some pubs and the Alhambra Mall as well. And this is our USP, the Jebel Jez, the mountain activities. So like I mentioned, the highest peak in the UAE, it's part of the Hajar Mountains at 1,934 meters above sea level. So it's actually almost the height of Shimla, or maybe a little less than Shimla, you can say. So this is where we have the Jebel Jez, and it's 10 degrees cooler than it is down at sea level. What can you do? You can do things like hiking. We have some fantastic hiking trails. You can do canyoning. So we have the Wadi Shoka. So we have a lot of these little shokas, these little water bodies in the mountains. So people can actually go hiking, trekking, and then, get into the water. They can do camping in the mountains, be one with the tribes, the local tribes. There are families staying in the mountains. You can do overnight camping in the mountains. So, things like canyoning that one can do. So very adventurous, different, unique experiences. You can do mountain biking. We have bike trails. Or just a sunset or a sunrise picnic. You don't want to do any activities, but you just want to go up to the jazz, and a lot of people do that. It's a great place to actually do a sunset picnic. I remember that, in 2018, I had arranged a picnic. Actually, it was an afternoon brunch picnic for guests, because I also handle the UK market. We had about 50 top sellers of American Express that had brought, they were the top performers of American Express. And we actually arranged a putting of golf balls into the mountains from here. And we had a really nice champagne picnic for them. So again, great things that you can do. If you don't want to do any experiences, just go up there for a drive. It's a really nice drive. And this is where you can park. It's the viewing deck park, which is 1,300 meters again above sea level and lit by solar energy. And again, a great spot, as you can see on the left-hand side, you can actually have a get together for about 80, 100, or maybe even 120 people up on the mountains. So these are very, very unique spots that you can really do something out of the box. And then we have the Jebel Jaz Sky Maze. So whilst we have the mountains and, we built things for adults, we realized that there's something that we need to do for children as well. So we built the Sky Maze. Now imagine doing something like this on top of a mountain. I mean, such a great experience. So, some fantastic things that you can do. This is open for children. Of course, you need adult supervision for this. You need to be guided for these there, but it's absolutely safe. You can do biking up there. You can, just do rope climbing, going from one plank to the other. So some fantastic obstacles and experiences that you can do up there. And then we also launched the Jebel Jaz Zip Tour. So initially in 2018, in January, actually, we launched the longest zip line in the world. And of course, a lot of you have already mentioned that you know about it. It's called the Jebel Jaz Flight. I will talk a little bit more about it, but since we have the Zip Tour, this was launched earlier this year. In fact, in January this year. It's actually a zip line, a total of 7 zip lines in the mountains. And the total length of all of these zip lines is 5 kilometers. So you can actually go from one platform to the other platform, zip lining in the middle of the mountains. So again, a super experience. It costs 200 dirhams to do this. You have to have there's a certain height weight restriction. You need to be about 35 to 40 kgs to about 100 kilos for something like this, but a great, great experience. And for the Jebel Jaz maze, it's 75 dirhams. So just for you to know the cost of the zip line, of the bull maze. And then, of course, we have the Jebel Jaz flight, which is in the Guinness Book of World Records. The longest one was actually in Puerto Rico. And while His Highness was in touch with Toro Verde, who are the operators of the zip line in Puerto Rico, we decided, okay, fine. Everybody has their own USPs. Dubai has the largest mall, the Dubai Mall. They have the highest, the tallest building, the Burj Khalifa. We have the highest mountain peak. Let's do something there. So that's how the zip line story was invented. and we decided to build the longest zip line in the world. It's 2.83 kilometers in length. Um, and it's a great experience. I must say, you land, you go in Superman position, as you can see in the image, with your hands at the back. They put weight on you. The minimum weight restriction is 40 kgs. You have to be 40 kilos at least. Goes up all the way to 130 kilos. So the heavier you are, the better it is. So for people who are slightly not on the heavier side, it's a great experience for you guys. At least you will not flap like a bird. You go actually at a speed of almost 120 to 150 kilometers an hour. And you can do this whole thing within less than 3 minutes. It's a great adrenaline rush and something that it's on the bucket list of every person that comes to the UAE. In fact, we have a lot of people that actually stay in Dubai, who come, who visit India from India and come to Dubai and stay in Dubai and Abu Dhabi, but they drive down to RAK, to the Jez, only to do the zip line, because you become a certified Guinness World Record holder of doing the longest zip line in the world. So without, with having said that, I'd like to show you a video on it. So enjoy it. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. It's a fantastic experience. You land on a glass bottom suspended 9.5-ton platform in the middle of the mountains, and then you go in a sitting position till the end. Trust me, it's a great experience. I myself have done it several times, and I'm still sitting here in front of you and talking to you guys about Ras Al Khaimah. So don't think it's scary. Yes, maybe for some of you, it's the initial, thrill that you may get, the scare that you may get out of the fact that it's a thrilling experience. But trust me, it's absolutely safe. We have some the tour operator who's managing it, Toro Verde, they have certified instructors. They have people who are absolutely on top of the game when it comes to safety. And, even His Highness and the Prince, everybody has done this particular zip line. So it's absolutely safe. It costs 300 dirhams to do it. So it's less than even $100, and it's a great experience to share. So when we decided, that we're going to build on products for the mountains, and we came up with the Sky Maze, we came up with the Via Ferrata. Initially, we had the zip line, we have the viewing deck park, and all of these things. We said, okay, we need to also get up to the mountain. So how do we go up? And therefore, we decided to introduce the Jebel Jais Tours, which is a shuttle bus. It's a 30-seater bus that picks you up from several locations in Ras Al Khaimah. So all you need to do is book it online. It costs 20 dirhams one way. So for 40 dirhams round trip, you can actually book yourself a ride on the Jebel Jais Tours. You don't need to book a taxi. You don't need to book a private car. You just book yourself on this. It will pick you up from your hotel, and it will bring you all the way up to the Jebel Jais mountains, and it can take you back. So regardless of whether you want to do an activity up in the mountain, or you just want to go for the thrill of a drive, to the mountains of UAE, it just costs 40 dirhams. So again, I think it's a great way to actually explore the destination. And like I mentioned, even the mountain activities can actually be, booked online. There is a website, and as we're almost to the end of the presentation. I will share a slide which has all the information handles, and you can book all of these things, excursions, activities from there. What do we have in terms of future projects? So whilst we do have a lot of things in the pipeline, I'm sure a lot of you have heard of Bear Grylls. Now, Bear Grylls is obviously somebody whose bear is actually famous for, I'm sure in the recent past, you've heard of Mr. Prime Minister Modi having done, tried out, the Bear Grylls, as well as, the top South Indian, what do you call it, Bollywood star Rajnikant as well, who's done this. So we actually tied up with Bear Grylls last year during ATM, and we decided that we're going to build a survival camp on the Jebel Jais. And this is something that is going to really give a boost to adventure tourism in our destination. So we're going to have survival courses, which would be a half-day course, a 1-day course, and a 2-day course as well. So this was supposed to be launched in Q2 of 2020, but will possibly get pushed over by maybe a quarter or two because of the current scenario. But this is again something that we really would like to bring. It's already in the destination, but it will open soon. And we hope that people who are into adventure, especially people who have student groups and who want to be one with nature and surroundings, these are things that would really attract people to come and try out these activities. And while we have accommodation on the beach, we have it in the desert, we have it in the city, we said, okay, we don't have anything in the mountains as yet, so let's build something on the mountains. So therefore, we decided that we're going to come up with the Jebel Jais Mountain Lodge. And this is something that will open hopefully now by 2021 or earliest 2022. Again, in the pipeline. To be, again, we do have Wi-Fi up on the mountains, but we recommend that when you are somewhere here in a place like this, you want to be away from people, you want to be away from Wi-Fi. And what better place than to be up here with great climate, great weather. It's going to have yoga facilities. It's going to be, it'll have wellness centers. It will have, heated pools. So all of those things will be available in this particular mountain lodge. And of course, this is all that I can share with you for now for this. But as we get more information on when this will open and we have more information on when things will start moving ahead with this, I will definitely be sharing with you. So again, a great thing. This will be about, I think, maybe about 40 odd lodges or tents that will come up here. And quickly to go through MICE, since I did mention that we do have MICE as well, and we've been picking up on weddings and incentives and conferences. I'd just like to show you an image and a short video. That's basically the Alhambra International Convention and Conference, Exhibition and Conference Center. That's what it looks like. You can see all the white is basically sandy beach. And you will see more of it when I show you the video. On the other side is a parking area for almost about 300 plus cars. It's 2,000, it can take up to almost 3,000 people. It is divided into 3. And I'll just show you a quick video on this. And if you have any questions here, happy to answer that. It's actually the first of its kind again in the entire UAE. You will not find anything like this in any of the other Emirates on the beach, by the water. In fact, we've held a few conferences. You saw the Arabian Hotel Investment Conference happen there. We did the WTTC conference there. We've done some weddings, especially the Sangeet functions there, because the Indian weddings, especially the Sangeets, go on till almost 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And therefore, whilst the guests do get disturbed in the hotels, so we decided that this would be a great venue for indoor Sangeet functions where they can also use the outdoor beach area. So, we've had very recently as well, till the end of February, beginning of March, we had a couple of weddings that happened, and the Sangeet functions happened here as well. So a great, a great venue for MICE especially. So any questions for the mountains or the MICE?
Yes, there are a couple of questions, but it is not related to the mountains in general. People are asking about the Ras Al Khaimah specialist program, if there is any, and
Yeah.
also about some visa requirements in terms of. So, if someone is a US, UK, or Canada, or an Australia tourist visa holders, do they have the option of visa on arrival?
Yes, so this particular slide is the RAC Travel Master slide. So we do have a specialist program. It's called the RAC Travel Master. You just need to log into www.ractravelmaster.com. We are upgrading it now. We are also going to be, it's our e-learning platform, which we launched during WTM in 2017. So it's been ongoing for the last 3 years now. Having said that, it's a great platform to learn about the destination, but we're now upping it, and we're also going to be introducing MICE to it very soon. And it is, of course, available in several languages, but of course, for India market, I think English would serve best. So yes, we do have it, and that's the link that you can, the URL, you can follow that and log and register yourself for the RAC Travel Master. Regarding the visa, like I mentioned, if you have a US or a UK visa, it is visa on arrival. You need to pay 120 dirhams. It has to be a valid US or UK visa to enter into the UAE. So yes, you can enter with these two visas. I'm sorry, I can't hear you, Tarang.
I'm sorry, I was on mute actually. So as of now, I think the questions are repeating. But to all the viewers, if you guys have any questions, you can start posting your questions now. We'll be taking up all the questions if you have. And one of our viewers are asking about that, is Al Jazeera operating? As whenever we have asked and inquired about it, they always told that it was still in process. So is it operating? No, I guess.
What do you mean? I mean, I'm not able to understand. Operating in what sense?
I think that
Basically an
Mr. Kate.
area. It's an area. The Jazeerat Al Hamra is an area. Al Jazeera is basically an area. It has a port there. And of course, there is a heritage village, which, we are restoring. And because there's a heritage village that is basically used as a venue for, maybe an art and craft festival.
Okay, they're asking about the micro flight, the Al Jazeera flight.
Oh, the Jazeera Aviation Club.
Yes,
So
yes.
yes, it is operational.
It is operational.
It is now.
Chetan?
Well, yes, it is. It had closed. Well, they were not licensed by the Tourism Development Authority to fly in between. However, now they are a licensed holder. So unless, the thing is, they have been flying all this while, but unless, we give, as a tourism authority, we provide them with a certificate of license to operate, we do not promote a product. So whilst, somebody could be operating it without, the license to really fly, it is best not to fly them. However, now because they are on the presentation, we are promoting it. They are licensed aviation operators to fly.
Okay. So a lot of people are also asking about the clubs and the nightlife in Ras Al Khaimah and the
So
city
we
life in general.
So we do have to come back to. I know there's no slide on nightlife and shopping. We have 6 shopping malls in the destination. We have everything from a Lulu to a Carrefour to regular brands. We don't want to replicate a Mall of Emirates or a Dubai Mall and have fancy malls like them. But whatever you need on a day-to-day basis, or a regular mall with normal brands are available in the Emirate. That's one. The shopping, yes, you can do. In Ras Al Khaimah, you have souks as well. So we have a gold souk, we have the Kuwaiti souks, which are the local souks and the spice shops, and you get the oud and the incense and all of that as well there. And also we do have bars, we do have pubs, but we don't focus on nightlife.
Okay.
We want people to come and enjoy the destination, to come and enjoy the peace and tranquility of a destination. When you're coming to a resort, you come and enjoy. We have nightclubs. Having said that, in fact, let me tell you, we have the largest, the biggest. Again, in the UAE, everything's about the largest, longest, biggest of everything. So here again, we have actually the largest nightclub in the entire UAE. It's called Club 55. It's it picks up, it starts off only during weekends. And during weekends, it actually, people start coming to the nightclub only after 1 o'clock at night. So yes, we do have nightclubs, we do have bars, and they're far more affordable as compared to what you would find in the other Emirates, only because, we are at least 15 to 20% lower in terms of cost. So definitely, yes, it is available, but we don't propagate nightlife in the destination, because we say that for nightlife, if you want to go, there's enough in Dubai. Why do you come to Ras Al Khaimah only for nightlife? If you're coming for a 2-night or a 3-night, come and enjoy the destination, enjoy the beaches, enjoy the pools, enjoy the all-inclusive concept hotels, go to the mountains, go to the desert, be one with nature. I mean, I think we do enough of nightlife, even when we're back home in India, right? So yes, we do have it, but we don't, that's not our USP or our point of, we don't sell it or we don't promote it as such.
Okay. Okay, so in the interest of time, we won't be taking any more questions, and we'll be sharing the contact details of Ms Navritu with each one of us present over here, and you can post or directly connect with her for any questions that you have.
Yeah, I just have one Tarang, one slide where they can. It's just the information handles.
Definitely.
We of course have the mobile app, so you can download the mobile app. You get all the information about the destination here. And if anybody is interested in, getting to know about the destination, our website details and all our social media handles, so do follow us on Insta, Twitter, YouTube, as well as Facebook. You want to book the Jebel Jazz, any of the activities, all the information is here. And if there are any questions that anybody has, I'm happy to answer. Of course, due to paucity of time, you can reach out to me. My email ID is navritu@ractda.com. So you can reach out to me for any specific queries that you have as well.
Definitely. So
thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Navritu, for this interesting presentation. Before we end today's session, we have Mr. Ramanpreet Singh with us from TravClan, and he'll be able to, he will be guiding us about some of the interesting features of the TravClan app. Mr. Ramanpreet, are you there?
Hi, Tarang. Can you hear me?
Hi. Hi, how are you?
Thank you, Tarang. And thank you, Navritu, for the wonderful presentation. I am
Thank
sure
you.
all the audience would have enjoyed it. I've been receiving messages while you were giving presentation on the WhatsApp that people have been likely, taking a lot of interest in terms of knowing the destination is, and they have been asking a lot of questions, which shows the interest is on. So without taking much of the time for everyone, I just want to tell that TravClan and Tarang, I want to say thank you to you, as the entire effort has been taken to take this initiative carry forward in terms of making sure that there are a lot of learning sessions are coming, and people can actually have that sense of information from the right people like Navritu, and the right information coming into them.
Thank you.
So I'll just take 5 more minutes, and I'd like to share my screen showing that what TravClan has been doing to help travel partners. Uh, we have a TravClan app on Android phone as of now, not on the Apple Store. Will be coming up soon, probably in a couple of months, but on the Apple Store. On the TravClan app, if in case, Taran, can you see that?
Yes, yes, we can see it.
Right. So TravClan has been able to support in terms of the travel partners with a lot of free content in terms of, you know, creating catalogs for the destinations for travel partners. There are top suppliers. You can check their information. You can even follow the suppliers and have the right information about the product. We also write blogs about the information which can be helpful for you to share it with your client, because it does not come with TravClan logo. You can actually post your TravClan logo and share this information with your clients. uh, I know these are tough times, but soon the situation will revive. And once we have the business, you can even post your queries out here, and we'll be connecting you with multiple suppliers across the globe. As Tarang said in the beginning of the presentation, we have more than 500 suppliers, local, domestic, and international. We do have a chat community, which is an upgraded version, like more than WhatsApp chat conversation, where a lot of tourism managers, amusement park owners, the representatives are there on the chat. And we have divided into central, north, and the chat forums, where tourism managers keep on sharing the information, the relevant posts, blogs, articles, and if in case they are running any contest, plus the information about tourism. These are my shop, which is basically, I'm sorry, Tarang, that's, I think the app got hanged, so I'll just repeat it again. uh, so this is the event forum that we have. I'll come back to the app. uh, all of you can go ahead and register on the event website of TravClan, and you will be coming to know more about upcoming events. This is just to show you that what events that we have, plus the previous events and the webinars which has been conducted by Team TravClan. You can even watch the repeat telecast. This is the kind of audience that we had so far. Um I'll just like to show you which all events are planned. So if you see my screen, you can follow that link, and all our webinars starts at exact 4 p.m. IST time. There are upcoming events which are in the pipeline, and we will be soon coming up with more events in the month of May. So if in case you have any recommendation, anything that you want to refer as an audience, please do share the information with us. We'll be more than happy to help you. You can also follow the TravClan YouTube channel on YouTube and see all the previous webinars. If you see this, Ras Al Khaimah webinar is also learning live on YouTube. These are the previous events that we have conducted so far. Plus, there are more information which has been conducted about different destinations, and you can obviously share your views about it. Coming back to the TravClan app, and yes, one more thing that I would just like to state before we leave. Uh, TravClan has been taking initiative in terms of all the tour operators, travel agents, those who are working offline, those who were working offline. TravClan has taken a pledge to take them on the online platform, where we have been giving travel websites for the first 3 months free of charge, and a travel CRM which is powered by TravClan. So any one of you who is interested, or any of your colleagues or travel friends, those who want, those you can help them in terms of taking their offline travel agency to online. We'll be more than happy to help. So for that, Tarang will share his contact details at the end of the session in next 5 minutes. You can even write to him. This is what we were showing about the TravClan app. We've been sharing news about it. Plus the My Shop, there are a lot of content which we have created for the travel partners, which is logo less. What do I mean by that is, suppose if in case there is any promotion that you want to share, so that can come with your logo, with your information, and you can share it with your client. You can even share the PDF, which is on the right hand side top corner. It will come to your client without a TravClan information. It will be pure your branding. We also have a learning session where we share the current news. Plus, these are high quality video contents that we have given on the app, which you can share it with your client. If you see, these videos will keep on playing. There is a right hand side triangle button which you can click and share with your clients. And we've been trying to do it for all the destination. You can create your profile. In fact, you can follow the tourism managers. Let me see if in case my profile pulls up. So respectfully, all we are trying to get tourism managers and more relevant people on the TravClan app, where once you will start following it to them, all the updates which tourism managers are posting on TravClan community will pop up to you. And this is how we want to make sure that the right information comes to the audience. So, Tarang, this is all from my end. I just want to say thank you once again, Navritu, for such a wonderful presentation and for your time.
Thank you, Tarang, and thank you, Raman, for this opportunity. Like I mentioned, it's a great initiative that you guys are doing. It actually brings the world together through this, through this platform. And even though we're not all together, and we cannot travel and we don't know how long this is going to continue, I think it's a fantastic way to actually educate people, and it's a great initiative. So keep going, and I wish you all the best. And to everybody else as well, stay happy, keep learning, keep ideating, and I'm sure that we will come by this very soon, and we will bounce back.
Definitely.
Inshallah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much,
Thank you, guys.
Navritu, for your time and for this interesting presentation. Thank you, Raman, for explaining all of us here about TravClan. And thank you to all the audience for joining us in today's session. I hope to see each one of you in the next session that we have, that is on 13th April with Sharjah Tourism. And we are trying our level best to educate the entire industry in the tough times. And I hope that we all will come out of it together even stronger. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.